First, can I have you react to what former presidential spokesman Harry Roque just said? I don't know if you heard the full thing, but essentially he's saying that the documents that you guys are asking for are not relevant, that you guys have to be the ones to show evidence, and
Well,
that
on the
and that
contrary, I think all the documents that you are actually, this is what happened. I think on the third hearing, we issued a subpoena ducis tecum for him to produce and submit to the committee pertinent documents relative to the inquiry. No, one of these documents is the deed of sale of the lot of the multinational subdivision in Parañaque, because as we have presented earlier, the paid-up capital of Biancham Holdings was only 125,000 pesos in 2014. However, after 4 years, it went up to 125 million pesos, 250 million pesos. So that's quite a big jump from 125,000 pesos. What we would like to know is whether this big amount of money came from the POGO operations, because it is very coincidental that during this time, Mr. Harry Roque or Attorney Harry Roque was already involved in the operations of the POGO in Porac, Pampanga. So that is why I do not understand why he cannot produce the simple documents. No? So because of his non-cooperation and non-submission of these documents, since we already issued a subpoena ducis tecum and he did not comply it, then we had to cite him for contempt. Because under our House Rule, Section 11, Paragraph 3, any resource person who does not produce or submit documents that are needed or relevant to the inquiry can be cited for contempt.
Right.
In addition, for the motion to cite him for contempt, there is a corresponding motion to detain him at the premises of Congress.
Right.
And that is why there was an order of detention issued to him last Friday, and directing the Sergeant at Arms to coordinate with the Philippine National Police to bring him to the premises of Congress. That is really exactly what the situation is now.
Right, right. Congressman, I don't know if you heard our prior story before we got to you, but we reported on that increase in wealth in Biancham. But one of Attorney Roque's defenses is that at that time, POGOs were legal naman, which is correct. They were only banned recently, right? So what sort of all of this is in aid of legislation. So what kind of linkages, what kind of changes to the law are you looking to do here?
Well, one of these is, of course, we can pass a law which will totally ban the operations of POGO. For now, I believe that the revocation of the POGO license were due to the pronouncement of President Marcos during the SONA. But actually, there is no law prohibiting the operations of POGO. So to strengthen this plan to really stop illegal POGO operations, then we can pass a law which is mas matibay kung meron talagang batas, hindi po ba? Those are the one of the possible legislation that we could do. And of course, this will be incorporated in the committee report. Hindi pa rin po tapos din ang ating kwantong hearings, so we cannot definitely say what kind of legislation that we will pass with regards to this problem.
Congressman, the House Quad Committee hearing resumes tomorrow. Who are we expecting to come? I believe that the spotlight has also been put on banks in their role in flagging the transfer of money in anti-money laundering control. Will resource persons from these banks be invited? And also pati po yung mga lawyer ng team ni Alice Go. There are reports that they are complicit to the filing of a fake counter affidavit because parang yung signature daw ay hindi pareho sa original signature ni Alice Go.
We'll know tomorrow, no? Because tomorrow will be the first time that Alice Go will appear in the hearing. The Senate has already gave its permission for Alice Go to attend the hearing tomorrow. At the moment, for the previous hearings, what we were deliberating was on the case of Lucky South 99, which was with regards to the operation of POGO in Porac, Pampanga. We have not yet discussed the operation in Bamban, Tarlac. So, and I also understand or already know that there was already a case filed by AMLA with regards to the money laundering case of Alice Go and Cassandra Leong. And part of the this case, I'm sure that AMLA will be coordinating with the banks to produce the bank accounts of Alice Go and Cassandra Leong. During the court hearing, well, supposedly we prepared a waiver for us to open the bank accounts of Cassandra Leong. Initially, she was okay siya na buksan yung bank accounts niya, but then it was overtaken by the filing of case of AMLA. Since there was already case filed by AMLA, nag-back out si Cassandra Leong. So now it's up to AMLA to compel the banks to produce the bank accounts.
Okay, Congressman, as you mentioned, tomorrow will be the first time that Alice Go will face Congress since her arrest. She's already appeared at the Senate twice, September 9 and September 17. But in both those hearings, senators barely got anything out of Alice Go. She kept invoking her right against self-incrimination. So are you expecting the same behavior from Alice tomorrow, or how can you get her to speak at tomorrow's hearing?
Yes, that is true. We already have some apprehensions, but because I've said all these hearings, whether in the Senate or in Congress, was overtaken by the filing of cases. So just like during the previous hearing, Cassandra Leong, when every time that there's a question asked, she always answers, sinasabi niya, there is already a case filed, and I would like to invoke my right to self-incriminations because you might divulge information that might incriminate her in their cases with AMLA. That is true. Medyo it will be, I think, difficult to ask questions to them, and I don't really know if they will intend to answer because yun na nga, we are spooked by the case that was filed by AMLA.
We also told our sister program Storycon, Congressman Pimentel, that you are willing to take the hearings to Davao to be closer to former President Duterte. Just
Correct.
to, okay.
Correct, that is true. There is a plan to conduct the hearings in Davao because if you recall, on the third hearing, we formally and or officially invited former President Duterte to attend the hearings. And again, I believe that this should be reiterated again tomorrow, not as a subpoena, not as a show cause order, but rather an invitation to show that we are giving a due courtesy to the former president. So we will reiterate our invitation and we plan to go to Davao to be closer. Kasi siyempre, medyo baka nahirapan si President Duterte pumunta dito sa Manila. So what we intend to do is bring the hearing to Davao itself.
Yeah.
And I believe that why we are doing this because we want to give an opportunity, a chance to the former president to clear his name and to air his side also.
Are you optimistic that he might show up? Has there been any communication from the former president that, to the House, to the lower house?
In communication from the president, there was no reply from our invitation. But In any case, I believe that we will proceed with our plan to go to Davao.
What about coming back to former presidential spokes Harry Roque? Do you have any inkling at this point where he might be? May intelligence? Are you getting any intelligence on that?
Last Friday, the Sergeant at Arms, together with the PNP authorities, served the order of detention to two addresses that he gave in the committee hearing, no? Dalawang address pong binigay niya. However, he was not there. And PNP Chief Marbel has already created a special tracker team composed of CIDG personnel and other police divisions to track down Mr. Harry Roque. So this is the fourth day that the police authorities are looking for him, and there's still no sign of Attorney Harry Roque.
It does sound a little bit like the manhunt for Pastor Polo Kibuloy, right?
Sabi niya he's not a fugitive, Congressman Pimentel. He says,
Well, first, let us define the word fugitive. What is really the meaning of fugitive? According to Oxford Dictionary, a fugitive is a person who is in hiding to evade arrest and persecution. Ano po bang ginagawa ni Harry Roque? That is exactly what he's doing. O the definition of a fugitive, that is exactly yung ginagawa niya ngayon. He is into hiding so that he could arrest and persecution. So ano po bang tawag natin doon?
I guess his point is that you're not a court of law, right? And he only answers to a court of law, which is why he filed the motion to quash the arrest order.
That is true. In fact, it's not called a warrant of arrest, no? It's called an order of detention, directing the sergeant at arms to detain the resource person or to bring the resource persons to the premises of Congress. However, it still has an effect of a warrant of arrest. Kaya nga si Alice Go she's now in the Senate because again of an order of a detention. She was brought to the Senate, even though that there was already a warrant of arrest from DOJ, but still DOJ respects the power of the Senate to conduct hearings and to issue this order of detention. Just the same, as I've said, it has an effect of warrant of arrest. Meron na rin siyang arrest order. So even though we're not in the court of law, but we are still exercising our rights. It's very clear in the Constitution. Congress, including the Senate and House of Representatives, conduct hearings in aid of inquiries in accordance with the rules of governing procedure. And under our rules, if a person cannot produce documents due to the subpoena ducis tecum, he can be cited for contempt. And this, the Constitution gives the Congress the power of contempt.
Okay, Congressman, quickly.
So everything is legal.
Congressman, I also wanted to get your reaction po to former presidential spokesman Harry Roque saying or accusing Congress of power tripping. He did say in that 14-minute-long Facebook Live video na hindi po tama yung ginagawa nila na pasigaw-sigaw kapag ayaw ng sagot, contempt agad. What's your reaction to this, sir?
I don't think we've been shouting at him. We were very cautious. You can review the proceedings. Hindi naman po namin siya binabastos, giving him due courtesy. And likewise, we also expect courtesy from him. That is just his excuse so that he will not appear.
Congressman,
You know, if a person is not guilty, like for example, one of our resource person, Ronaldin Baterna, every time that we invite her, she comes. She tells the truth. So, ano bang kinatago ni Harry Roque? Why doesn't he want to appear in the hearings? We are extending due courtesy to him. I don't think that we are power tripping. This is inducted earlier under the Constitution. We are authorized, we are allowed to conduct hearings. And since time immemorial, mula nung nagka-kongreso po, we have been having hearings, thousands of hearings. We have issued contempt orders to hundreds of persons. It is within the power of Congress to do that.
Is it correct, Congressman, that it was the former spokesperson who volunteered to submit his documents?
That is not true. He did not volunteer. We have been asking that for the past several hearings. He did not provide. That is why, kung sinabit niya yun, we will not issue the subpoena ducis tecum if we voluntarily submitted it. But the fact remains, even if we verify it from the committee secretariat, there is no document that he has submitted, not a single document. We are we have subpoenaed, I think, about 6 pertinent documents. Not a single document has been submitted to the committee.
Congressman, what are your plans to get the former president to attend the hearings? I mean, just taking a look at the situation, how far are you willing to go? Will that case also head this path?
Well, at the moment, what you have said earlier, we plan to go to Davao. Then if the former president does not appear, then it will be discussed in the committee members what will be our next move.
So pwede rin po ma-cite in contempt yung dating presidente kung sakali hindi po siya pumunta dito sa mga hearing po.
Well, that is possible. That is why it should be discussed among the members. Of course, you know, before you can cite a contempt to a resource person, there must be a majority vote. So there must be a consensus among members. We vote on that before we can cite for contempt a resource person.
Right.
So we have not come to that point. At the moment, we'll just reiterate our invitation, and then we'll go to Davao, and if he does not appear, then we will plan our next move.
Okay. We're running out of time, Congressman Pimentel, but just one last very quick question. If you could answer in 30 seconds, that'll be great. Can I just have you react to what Vice President Sara Duterte said today? She said basically the lower house is making a case for her impeachment, that you're not really targeting the budget, you're targeting her, that all of this is a political attack on her. Can I have your reaction, please?
At the moment, there is really no motion or a resolution that has been filed in Congress to impeach Vice President Sara Duterte. And at the moment, as far as I'm concerned, I have no really idea. I have not heard of anything regarding to take action on the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte.
Okay, very clear. We're going to have to leave that there. Thank you so much for your thoughts tonight. Surigao Del Sur, Congressman Johnny Pimentel.